Well, Biden's regulatory octopus reaching into the SEC is, of course, waging war on fossil fuels. But Commissioner Hester Peirce says, no, we are not the Securities and Environment Commission. Well, and she joins me now to talk about it. Right on, Hester. Hester, I didn't read your entire thing, okay? I will at some point. I didn't read it. I read John Cochran's summary of it. And Andrew Ullman was cheering me on about doing this. So thank you for coming on. I mean, so we're not the Securities and Environment Commission. I always thought that, you know, what was material public information covered all the risks involved. And I was terribly interested in your dissent about the idea that this new rule would kind of tell the company how it should be run, or at least run by outsiders, not by the managers themselves.
Yeah, that's right, Larry, and thanks for having me. That's exactly what I see the proposal as trying to do, tell companies that they have to be thinking about climate almost as much as they're thinking about their financial performance, which is certainly not what investors would want. You would think that investors want companies to make money and make products and sell things, but we're putting climate risks on par with other kinds of risks. Now, of course, climate risks, to the extent that they're material to a company, that's something that a company already has to disclose. So we don't need a new rule to tell them to do that. Yeah,
I mean, you're describing this upstream and downstream risk. I mean, purchasing, supply chains, distribution, almost consumer behavior, contractors. I mean, how can a company possibly know what the carbon emissions impact is going to be from all this far-flung analysis that, I might add, has no particular empirical background?
Well, I think that's exactly the problem. What we're going to end up seeing is the creation of a whole new industry designed to collect the data from upstream suppliers, downstream customers, and then that data is going to go into the filings that we oversee. And the bad part about that is that it's going to end up making those filings less reliable. People aren't going to be able to trust the data because it's so speculative. And I just hate to see our filings being filled with information that investors can't rely on. The whole point of our disclosures is that investors can rely on them to make investment decisions.
I mean, one of the things, this is my editorial, but others agree with this, you know, these climate changes, you're talking about meaningful climate changes, Hester, 50 years, 100 years. They're not immediate. They're not like next month or next quarter changes. I mean, only extremists believe in that stuff. And I think it is going to mislead investors. But it's also, isn't it going to impose huge, you know, burdensome red tape and paperwork costs? And companies are going to have to hire all these people to try and get the information that this SEC rule would provide. I mean, I don't know how they're going to stay in business.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be very expensive for companies. Some companies are producing the data now, but they're not doing it and putting it in SEC filings where there's a whole different liability, a set of liability risks. And so it's a massive new expense for companies. And some of these risks, as you say, are very difficult to predict very far out in the future, and to try to predict with the precision necessary for a company to figure out how it will be affected. And so we're spending a lot of money for not a lot of value for investors. And I just don't understand why we, the SEC, would want to get involved in this business of trying to figure out how climate models will interact with particular companies. It will put us in a very bad position, and puts investors in a bad position, and the economy, because it's going to end up shifting resources to certain industries that are favored and away from other industries. And the one thing I know is that markets are better at solving problems than regulators are. And we certainly can't predict the future. We certainly can't plan where the solutions for climate problems and other types of problems are going to come from.
Well, Hester Peirce, I'm going to read your whole dissent, I promise you. I promised Andrew Ullman that I would, too. He was our deputy for these things. And I just want to thank you for your views. I think it's very important that people hear this important dissent. You are the SEC, but it's not Securities and Environment. It's Securities Exchange. Anyway, good luck. We'll see what happens. Hope you'll come back
Well, thanks
soon.
for having me on, and I apologize in advance for how long it is.
I'll go for it. Anyway, Hester Peirce, thanks very much.